Hello, welcome to our live today. And today we will talk about what is it that interferes in your relationship. There could be many factors, but after you hear what I'm going to say, then you will be in a better position to think what could be the interference in your marriage. Yesterday we started our set of with set of clients who are basically couples and who are wanting to conceive, and they have not conceived for a long time in spite of the medical interventions, etc. So that's the program, we officially launched yesterday. And in that program, when I was speaking with one lady, she has been married for about 3 years now. And when we spoke to her, when I say we, it's my doctor partner, Dr. Pallavi. So when we spoke with her yesterday, you know her story is where she wanted to marry her boyfriend, and in a very typical Indian setting, you got to take your parents permission for that, and her parents were not in favor. So she ran from home and got married, which of course parents didn't approve of. And then, when she finally got married, and her father called her to say that they have abandoned her and she is no more their daughter. Now, when she heard this, she was quite shattered, because she thought that, parents are going to accept eventually. But it's been, so many years, 3 years, and they have not accepted. So, this thing has been weighing her down to quite an extent that her parents are not accepting her. She cannot go to their place. Her husband is a very, very loving person. He takes care of her. He understands what she is going through. And, as far as relationship between husband and wife is concerned, that looks very nice, very good. But then, and she wants to do post graduation as well. And her complaint was that, she had lost interest in the relationship with her husband. She lost the interest in her studies. She was losing interest in life. She was having anxiety attacks for the reason that her parents were not accepting her. Her parents were not accepting the marriage as well. She started to regret if she has taken the right step by marrying the man she really loves. So that's the regret that has gone inside her. Now her husband speaks to her almost on everyday basis, counsels her, explains to her, gives her all the support, the moral support, the psychological support she needs. But then she is not able to understand him. And she was telling me that there are times now that the fighting with husband has begun to such an extent that, even husband has started to lose temper on her. So they have come to a stage where, they are they do talk to each other, but then the talk suddenly turns into a fight. Their physical intimacy is just not there. She doesn't want her husband to touch her. As a result, husband is, now started to withdraw. And her, further, on questioning, she said that unless and until her parents accept her back as their daughter, unless and until they accept the marriage, which means they accept her husband as well, she will not want to conceive. There are three priorities in her life as of now. One is relationship with the parents. Second is she wants to have a child. And third is she wants to go for her higher studies, which is the post graduation. But she is not willing to do anything unless and until the relationship with parents gets settled to the way she wants. Now, if you see what is in the backdrop of her life, there is this relationship with her parents which has got bitter, which is then stopping her from living the life that she wants to. It's impacting all aspects of her life. It's impacting her studies. She's not taking up a job thinking that she will not be able to focus. She's not able to focus on day to day life because of the anxiety attacks. And her relationship with her husband is also now getting to a point where cracks have developed. And if this is how it continues, do you think husband will be able to give her the, support endlessly? Not just this, her the apart from the anxiety, she's having this, crying spells. She's getting into the state of depression, and her body has also started to rebel. Her, in terms of her body, her entire gynae system has got impacted, right? Her periods have got impacted, and there are some complications in the system, which is in any case going to make it difficult for her to conceive. Now, where is this all coming from? From her relationship with her parents, right? So in the backdrop, in the background, there is this relationship issue with her parents, which is then impacting everything else, whether it's her health, work, studies, relationship with her husband. So now, if I say that, we are going to be working, helping her to conceive, can we really do that? We cannot, because the foundation needs to be taken care of, and that foundation is her relationship with her parents. Okay. Similarly, in your case, if your relationship with your partner is, shaky, or it has gone into a bit of a mess, or you have been struggling in your relationship, what you need to do is to sit down with yourself. No need to talk to anybody. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself this question: what is it in your background which might be affecting the relationship with your partner? Now, in this woman's case, we've just had one session yesterday. When we dig deep, I am very sure that more is going to come out in terms of her relationship with her parents, even when she was a child. Because if parents have got angry or upset because she got married to the guy of her choice, that's the event. A marriage is an event which is a trigger to her parents anger. Marriage is not the cause of their anger. Marriage is not the cause why the daughter and the parents have, got to this stage. Marriage is only a trigger of something, else which is going inside, something else which is a base of what happened. Okay, in terms of parents getting angry. So in further sessions, we are going to dig deep and understand what has been the trend with regards to her relationship with her parents, especially father, because she's totally broken when her father doesn't speak to her. It just shatters her completely. Okay. Now, to even if we are to work on the relationship, we are to go little in the past and see what is it that needs to be mended, so that then, we start mending from there, come to the current relationship with, her relationship with her parents. Then she'll be, getting ready to conceive, of course, medical treatment being given. And then, her next priority is the post graduation. So this is going to be a journey for her. So my question again to you is, what has been in your backdrop, not just at the surface level? Dig deep, go back into your past, see what could have been those factors which are so deep, so intense, so hurtful, that unknowingly, you are not even aware of it, they are coming as a roadblock in your relationship with your partner. Because whatever is coming as a roadblock in your relationship with your partner, this will become a roadblock for your children when they get into the relationships, right? So you got to understand that, and sit with yourself, dig into those factors, and then, you will need to work from that zone onwards, going to the roots first, working on the roots before you actually come onto the relationship. And that's one of the reasons why You have made so many efforts working on your relationship, it has not given you results because what you're working is on the current scenario. Whereas what needs to be worked on is the deep roots. What needs to be worked on is the real cause, right? So, for in this case, in this woman's case, we are starting our work. We are going to be starting our work back from whenever whatever kind of relationship she had with her parents from childhood, and then we move forward. I will be curious to know that once you have done this exercise with yourself, what are those factors that you come up with? Because those factors will need to be worked on. And I'm not saying that it is possible to work on those factors in these kind of videos, for which you will actually need hand holding. Okay, still, I feel that it's going to be really worth your time and effort to be understanding what those deep causes are. It is though it is those causes which have prevented you from getting the results that you want in spite of this best exercise. How to do this exercise is, somebody's asking this question here. Sit with yourself and uh, you know you can start from 2 points. Either you can start from a point where from the time you remember your childhood. Say for instance, somebody remembers the childhood from the time he or she was, say, 6 years old. Some people remember their childhood from the time they were 4 years. Some people remember from the time they were 8 years. Okay, so one point of start can be that you go back. Say you remember from the time you were 6. Start from there, what kind of life you've led. And it is not necessarily with parents, it could be your experiences with your school friends, it could be your experiences with your teachers, it could be your experiences with say your neighbors, right? Vegetable vendor, I had this lady who had a very horrible experience with vegetable vendor. She is 65 years old and she's still carrying those memories, which has impacted her to such an extent that she needed help. So you just need to go there and then start seeing, until the time you got married, what have been those instances. Or the second point of start could be going backwards, which means going backwards from the time you got married, just before that. Okay, so just before that, looking at your life, looking at those significant events in your life, looking at those significant people in your life, who had created some kind of an impact. An impact was, it could be positive but it could be negative also. It could be something which was quite shocking, you were shaken with that. You got to go back and look at those instances and then reflect, what is it about that incident, what is it about those people, and which is impacting your relationship now. Okay, that's the point of start. That's how you're going to do it. But further details, if you want to go into, then you will definitely need hand holding, because this is a long process, this is a deep process, this is a journey. But why I'm telling you this is because, to understand that when you're making those efforts and you think it's not working, it's because there is something in your backdrop. Identify that, and then you decide whether you need to seek help. If you need to seek help, then we are there. We are going to be helping you with this, so that you get onto a completely different life altogether with your partner. Okay. So another question is, how much time at one go we need to give to get some fruitful result? I don't know what you mean by fruitful result. There is no particular time to it. Today you sit for, say, 15-20 minutes and you go back. But when you sit with yourself, you need to be sitting purely with yourself, phone switched off or in the silent mode, no disturbance, no distraction. It's a kind of a meditation where you've gone back into one phase of your life. You can't be, suppose, starting at the age of 6, you can't be going from 6 to 18 immediately in one go, all by yourself. Because if it is all by yourself, you'll not be able to do that. You'll be able to do that by yourself when you take one phase at a time. So for instance, if I take, say, when I was in grade 4, okay, maybe I was in grade 5. So what are the kind of friends I had? What are the kind of teachers I had? Is there some kind of an incident which I remember? Is there some kind of incident which I remember with regards to my parents? So you could be going phase wise. All in all, you can we can it can be done, provided you are doing it with help. Okay. Fruitful result, I don't know what you mean by fruitful result, but if it is to say that you are thinking that to reach to that kind of a conclusion as to what might be the interfering factor, it will take little time. Say if you're sitting on an everyday basis, say about 3 to 4 days, 5 days, if you're doing it seriously. But don't chase it. It's like, just looking at your life and seeing if something has been very important. But if you chase it like, it becomes like that story that a man was told that there is gold in this part of the field. So the man starts to dig and dig and dig and dig, and in desperation he keeps digging, but he's not able to find gold. Okay. So if you're desperate to find out, and if you're digging, if you're just chasing and wanting to grab what it is, then obviously it's not going to work. You got to just calm yourself, calm your mind, and just look at your life as if you're watching a movie. So if I ask you to, recall a movie and which scene you think impacted you the most, then what do? Very casually, you look at the movie and say, okay, this is the scene it impacted me the most. So look at that life, your life, just as a movie, and see which what impacted you the most and how that could be impacting your relationship today. All right. So that is from me to you today. And once you do this exercise, I would love to have your um, answers, and I will try my best. No, I don't think I'll be able to help you further on this. You will definitely need to seek help. But then there is also a possibility where that, when you do this exercise and you are able to analyze how that might be impacting a relationship, once you get to that and you're watching and practicing this challenge, you will be able to make a headway there. All right. So thank you so much. And thank you to all those people who have participated live here and you've put up your questions. That's a great, great sign that you're working towards it. And that's wonderful. I wish to congratulate you for that. And I am going to be seeing you tomorrow, same time, 3:30. I think tomorrow we will do something very small, little activity, very, very interesting activity, irrespective of whatever your state of mind is, irrespective of whatever your state of relationship is. So we are going to be doing a very interesting activity tomorrow. Okay. So you guys take care, and I will see you tomorrow, same time. Bye.